This is Steve Webb. He's the superintendent for Vancouver Public Schools. That's a full-time job, and then some. But a few times every year, Steve ditches the suit and tie because every good boss needs to know the challenges his employees face at work. He's making lunch, mowing the lawn, fixing buses, and painting walls. It's on the job with Steve.
I'm working with our mechanics. I'm here for two reasons. One, building relationships, and second, understanding the frontline contributions that our employees make each and every day. Hey, how are you?
Pretty good, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you again. We've got 170 buses in the fleet. This last year, 168 of the 170 buses were certified operational during the course of the year, which really is just a terrific achievement. We take great pride in maintaining the fleet. It's all about safety for students, and our mechanics, of course, do a terrific job making sure that these buses are operational.
You might want them on.
Yep, yes sir. Gotta have gloves.
Okay, we started in the cabbie. It was putting on a new oil filter after I took off the old one and just pretty much topping it off with oil. I already took the filter off this one, so you're going to spin the new one on.
Right? Okay.
So I don't know, wherever you want the light.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this is pretty tight.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I doing wrong here?
It's just pretty much you got to get the feel of it. If you did it more often, you'd have it on by now. It's just your first time doing it this style. And you might want to spin it the other way.
Righty tighty?
Yeah, because you're upside down. That's going to throw you off on righty tighty, lefty loosey.
I see. And that's not working much better. We've got success. All right. Oh.
Already drained the oil from the bottom, so put the plug back in. Now we just have to see how much oil this engine takes and then fill it from the top.
Okay. So about how much oil typically?
It's been a while since I did one of these newer buses. We only have 9 of them. Generally with this filter we got, it's 18 quarts. We're going to start with 18, check the stick, see where it's at, and half the hat or
okay, whatever. Sure.
So, behind you.
Yep.
Alrighty, and it's open. And you can preset the dial to 18.
All right, it's important to get it in there.
Yeah.
All right, and then...
So spin that up to 18. Oh, go back around.
Whoops. There we go. There.
And then you could just squeeze the trigger and let it go. And it should shut off on itself or by itself.
Just like oil can Henry, right?
Pretty much.
So David, how long does it typically take for you to service one of the buses?
If we got to do nothing but drop the oil, inspect and grease, it could be 2.5, 3 hours, but generally we got so many little repairs, it's a couple of more hours on there easy.
Sure.
So it could be 5 or 6 hours after the time we just do the stuff that I do as my job, then I pass it on to the mechanics who have hours and hours of the bigger repairs to do.
Right. So servicing really is about kind of routine preventative maintenance.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at 0. I'll wipe that up. I don't remember the last time I've checked the oil in my truck.
Yeah, I don't do it very often in my
Yeah, usually you got...
Okay, so yeah, that's fine. It's just right above the crosshatch, so it's probably the right amount we have in there. So just stick that back in there. Okay, that looks like it's pretty good.
We put the doghouse, the cover back on to the casing of the engine.
This slides under here. There's a little hole up here for this to go into.
And what is that?
This is a cup holder.
Oh, nice. Gotta have that.
And there's your 3 screws and a screwdriver.
Okay.
By chance you remember how to lift it up? What buttons to push?
Let's see.
You're close. That's the area.
Right, it's right
Yep.
here.
Yep. Yep.
Start.
Perfect.
It's the green button.
Green button.
Green. Green is good.
Green is good.
Okay, that's it, right?
Yep.
We don't have to unhook anything?
Nope.
Okay, we're good. And it just does it all at once, right?
Well, no, okay, now you walk away from there and your controls to lift up this bus and this bay is right there.
Oh, right. Okay, right. And I remember it's something like this?
Yeah, you could put them both up all the way to 12 o'clock. And it's just coming down right now because there's no power to the actual hoist yet.
Yeah.
If I didn't already set it up, you'd be looking underneath to make sure everything was lined up, but I already had it up in the air.
Okay.
So now you just move that over to 9 o'clock. And then depending on how it lifts the bus, you're gonna back off on one or the other if it's going too uneven.
Right.
And the left one is the back, the right one is the front.
It's the front.
Yeah. And you can leave the power one alone.
Okay. All right. Pretty impressive, right?
And now pretty much it's just the
Kind of visual.
the visual inspection
Right.
for everything.
So we're checking.
We're right now I'm checking the way I started. I look at the left front rear hanger first, look at all the bolts, everything's fine from here. And then I come over here, you spin the tire, make sure the sidewall's fine, no cuts or gouges in it.
Right.
Looking at the rim that it's not dented up or cracks, looking for any rust trails from the lug nuts, just anything that ain't supposed to be. And that's fine. And then I come around the front and then I spin the tire, looking for any
checking nails. Right.
Yeah, anything in there, and also checking tread depth,
Right.
make sure it's wearing evenly. So you just spin it all the way around. Then you do the same thing on the inside of the tire, make sure they didn't run into anything, there's no damage here or on the rim that you can see. And now check the brake
Yes.
lining.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure that it's not the thickness, and you also look for any moisture. That might be oil from a wheel seal.
Okay.
And you can't see the front wheel seals where it leaks too much very well on these, but the rear ones are a lot easier. Sometimes it'll leak out of here. Sometimes you could see it up in there. That's fine.
And if you spot a leak or something that is excessive, then you'll have to.
If it's a wheel seal, any one, no matter what the size, I write it up and let the mechanic decide if it's bad enough to repair or not.
Okay, I see. So these buses are pretty complex pieces of equipment.
Yeah. And the newer versions we get every time, they're just more, I don't want to say junk, but there's more stuff on there. You got to check it. Slow down the service time a lot. Just all the extra buzzers you got to check, safety, which is good for the kids. It just slows our job down. We can't get out as much stuff, but
Right.
but it's getting more complex. We got an oil leak here that we need to figure out where that's coming from.
That wouldn't be from pumping the oil in, would it?
No, unless you shot it over the side. But see, I don't know if it's leaking right here, if this is the source, but there's a little bit above it. So I'm just going to write up oil leak on the driver's side of the engine. Then I'll let the mechanic know. Sometimes they'll hose it down, clean it all off, and take it for a run and see where the fresh oil's coming from. And then I just walk up this side of the frame towards the front of the bus.
And you're looking for?
I'm looking for holes that go all the way through this
I see.
into the inside of the bus. Looking for any cracks on any brace. Looking for any bolt that's missing that's supposed to be for a cross member.
Yeah, okay. Because moisture up inside is not good.
Well, it's not for the moisture, it's for exhaust leaks. So that if the bus had an exhaust leak here, it wouldn't be going into the cab and making the kids feel sleepy
sure.
or sick.
Or the driver.
Or the driver, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of detail. And of course, so many parts and pieces that have to be visually spot checked. And of course, any problem with one of those things could potentially deadline the bus, which means David writes it up, mechanics take a look at it, and they fix the problem before it gets back out on the road.
Time for grease. So do you want a pair of coveralls on, or you mind getting grease on your actual shirt?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well.
How much grease are we talking about?
Every Zerk fitting on the bus you have to grease, so all depends how clean you can be.
Okay.
So shove them in some pockets.
Okay.
If you need more rags.
All right.
All right, and the grease gun is behind this here. See?
Okay, watch out.
All right, grab that and I'll.
Grease gun.
All right.
All right. What are we doing?
I start from back here.
Yeah.
With my hand, finger.
Yeah.
There's a Zerk right here. Wipe off the tip. You want to see a clean tip before you put the grease gun on it. Otherwise, you're shooting dirt into the Zerk and then into the component.
Okay, into the Zerk.
Yeah, Zerk fittings, the little grease fittings are called. Right, okay, on this, quick class on this. If you push this in, you can spin this for whatever angle. Helps a lot on different places, the way they're angled.
And I just slip this on?
Yep, just push it on, hold pressure on it, and then pull the trigger on the gun.
Okay. And this isn't going to spray out and hit me?
It should not. If it does, we need to write that up.
Okay, you need to write me up. All right.
Okay, that's good.
When I hear that crack?
Yeah, when you hear the crack, yeah.
Okay.
And when you send that back up, run a rag up the hose the whole way up.
The hose?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be a clean rag.
Yeah, a clean one generally, yes.
We don't want to push that when it's facing directly at you.
And then I'm going to get a paint marker. I'll do the first one so you know where to mark, but you just mark it as close to the can as possible on that rod that comes out of the brake chamber.
And why are we doing that?
Because after we adjust the brakes and we do something called 121, we measure the distance that comes out of the can.
Okay.
And a certain amount is legal, certain deadline. Okay. So there's your thing.
121.
Yeah.
What does that number stand for?
You know, it's been so long I don't remember. I don't remember if it refers to the sequence of you do the primary tank, then you build it back up, then you drain the secondary tank, then you drain the primary. So maybe it's the first tank, then you do the second, then you do the first tank again after. Okay. That might be it. Okay. It never really explained to me.
Okay.
But
the complexity of all of the different systems and making sure that you check every single one of those details is really remarkable. And of course, David has it, of course, memorized, right? But if that's what you do on a routine basis, it's pretty obvious that he's mastered all of that detail. Okay.
Now try to spin the wheel.
No spin?
Okay. And that's good because it's a newer bus, but if it's an older bus, you want to put more effort into spinning the wheel because sometimes they'll act like they're locked up. Yeah, there you go. So that one's nice and...
Look at this. All right.
Good effort.
How was that?
That was much better. So now we are done with that.
Okay.
Hey, Bradley. You got time for 121? All right. I'll just throw that right down there. We're going to have Brad jump in the bus, and he's going to be watching the air gauges up there when we're draining the tanks. Okay. And then we're going to be down here checking certain things.
Okay. In order for them to check the brake systems, it's a two-person function. So they've got to raise the bus, they've got to get another mechanic up on the bus, monitoring the gauges, and then David is doing the work underneath relative to releasing the air and doing spot checks along the way. So again, you know, even though one person might be performing another service, there are certain functions that require more than one person. So this sense of teamwork is absolutely critical to making sure that the fleet is operational.
And you see that green one up there? It's the second one from the left. So next, right of the red one.
There's a red, and that's green?
The one right of the red one is green.
Okay,
so
it looks like black.
It might be dirty. Turn it to where air comes out, so like quarter turn.
Which way?
Either way. It should spin either way. It's just a matter of getting to it.
Oh my gosh. I can't get it.
Maybe if you just by putting your hand up underneath there, and you can kind of get more torque on it. So then we let it all drain out, and then after it all drains out, he's pushing up there, making sure the spring in the valve itself is good.
Okay.
Because it's something we had to add on because we found a lot of them were going bad. So then you only check them really when all the air is out.
Okay.
So then we go up there, close the valve.
A little close.
Okay. Tell them clear to start.
Clear to start.
And then drop the bus all the way to the ground. So leave that in the 6 o'clock, and then just by moving those two, that'll bring the bus down. And just watch your head with the door. Yeah. Right now, he's going to be rocking the steering wheel, and we're going to be checking play and all the steering linkage. So we're looking at all the U-joints in this, making sure there's no slack. I stick my finger wherever any of the boxes mount to the frame, feel for any play there.
Okay.
And then you just follow it the whole way back till you check all the steering linkage is checked. So there's your flashlight.
And where am I putting my finger?
Where it bolts to the frame, so go out that way and behind it. So you're checking the linkage here again.
Yeah.
You can get another visual of that one.
Right.
You're also checking play in the shackle pins. Sometimes we'll have play with steering front and back. And then you also feel right here where the tie rod, where the clamps are bolted on, and you put, that's the air dryer going off.
Nice.
That was good.
Nice. Yeah, the air pressure being released kind of caught me a little off guard. I didn't know if I touched something and made a mistake or what, but apparently that's fairly routine. It's part of the pressure release that is getting at some of the redundancies relative to the air pressure in the brake system.
No, that's good. So now just shout up good.
Good.
And while he was up there too, during this whole rocking thing, he was also timing how long it took for the air pressure to build back up.
Okay.
Because it has to build up, go from 60 to 90 within a minute. So
Okay.
he's checking a bunch of stuff up here while we're checking
That
stuff.
startled me when that went off. Like,
Well,
what did I touch?
He was right underneath when the dryer went off.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Luckily, that was a dry one, not a real wet one.
Yeah.
So it looked like there's little bruises out on you.
Nice.
He actually caught on to the adjusting the brake thing pretty quick. So that's one of the things a lot of people actually have a hard time with. So without the background, he actually did pretty good on that.
We're going to take it out for a spin?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Nice. I'm pretty sure they're not going to let me drive this thing. All right, here we go.
Alrighty. We're going to go 20 miles an hour, then slam on the brakes. So however you want to be secure. Okay, and our reading is above, so that part passed.
Sure.
And then we do it again just with the park brake at 15 miles an hour, and it has to stop within 50 feet. So, all right. Okay, stopped well within the amount, so we're good there. Now for the road.
So that means we did something right with the brakes.
The brakes are all right.
All right.
So you got your visual of seeing the brake throw come out properly, and then now you know it stops like it's supposed to stop.
Okay.
And like when I'm braking on it too right there, I'm checking to make sure it's not pulling when it's braking. As you do though, every time we step on the brake on a test drive, we're making sure it's not pulling.
Right,
So,
right. To one side or the other.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
David, you started on this bus at what time this morning?
Probably around 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah.
So 5 hours. I'm just really very grateful for the way that this team comes together and ensures that all of this equipment is operational and safe.
It's a pretty nice bunch of people to work with, very easy to get along with everybody. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's obvious you take pride in your work, and
Thank you.
your colleagues do too.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty much just going to write it up and see if Tom or George wants me to give it to a mechanic, park it in a certain bay, or park it back in its stall.
Okay. So this bus is done?
This bus is done as far as my job goes.
Yeah, terrific.
Yeah.
We found a couple of little things that needed to be referred out to the mechanics. There's a little bit of oil leaking. We've got a rock chip in the windshield. And there's a work order system, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so right now I start a new one. Put my name,
Right.
put vehicle number, and I just start writing down the things. Okay. He did good. He did good this time. He didn't break nothing, so all is well.
Thanks again. I
Thanks.
appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah. You know, this team of mechanics really should take great pride in their accomplishments. And, you know, they run a pretty lean team here. But because of all of the systems that are in place here, they work together really effectively to make sure that the equipment is operational and safe. It's transporting some of the most precious cargo that exists in this community.